Oh my goodness. Hey, good morning. I'm about to get started in 1 second. Let me see if I can get a few more people who are looking for access in here. Oh, I hope they didn't. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Yesterday was a good day. I was on like TikTok and a lot of people were saying they lost money yesterday from the price action. I'm not sure like what different strategies people use. A lot of people use ICT, but I thought yesterday was good. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove these levels from yesterday. This was a 6 hour demand. Some people were asking about when is a level invalidated. So let me go to the 6 hour to show you guys where this level was located, and it was right here. Okay. So these two candles gave us the 6 hour demand yesterday. Remember, these candles weren't here at the time that we charted. So this is where that 6 hour demand was. And people ask, like, well, how do you know when a level is invalidated? And the answer to that is once price has broken all the way through, like past the stop loss, then you know you can remove the level. It's done. Kaput. This was a 1 hour level that was inside of the 6 hour. Both of those levels bounced price yesterday. But now that the zone is done, then we're just going to take it off. So what we're left with is I colored this orange because it was a gap from the overnight session where it was a gap from the overnight session where we just like pushed up really high. So on the lower time frame, I'm actually going to take this yellow rectangle and I'm going to move it to the bottom of here because now like the gap has been partially filled. So if it comes back down to fill the rest, I may take a trade, but I just don't want to keep sitting here thinking like we have this whole gap when it's already been partially filled. Okay, so let's go to the 12 hour. We removed what we had from yesterday. So these little areas right here, I was talking about these as stair step demands that as we had this push up, it just left back a whole bunch of little areas where the market went up, consolidated, pushed up. And so those were here. But we had a larger one sitting here at the 3 hour. So, oh, excuse me. Try to just like not think of this is a gap, so just try to not think of it in terms of levels. So I'm just looking in between this area for any more levels, right? Because we have one above us, we have one below us, so I'm just looking to see if we had any more formed from these candles last night. So I'm on the 12 hour, and you know this you could kind of say is a supply, right? You had this big body, well, it's not so huge, but this red candle body is engulfing the green one. And earlier this morning, price came up and pushed down, like early this morning, like 1 o'clock or something. Price came up and pushed down really low. But essentially, that's already been quote unquote triggered. So I'm not even gonna bother with that. So nothing new on the 12 hour. Going down to the 6 hour, this was the demand zone that we played yesterday. And in these candles that we see here, again, nothing new has happened. The reason why I'm doing it like this, just a reminder for people who just jumped on, is that, we already have a level up top and we have a level below. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything else in between that we can trade. This is why I say, like, I look at all the time frames. It doesn't take long every day to just shoot through the time frames and see if you have anything new that's right around where price is. So again, I'm looking between these two kind of boundaries, with this yellow being my gap from yesterday. And right here, it looks like we could potentially be forming a 4 hour demand zone if this candle were to push up. This candle closes at 9 a.m. It's got about 13 more minutes. So if it does close, above this candle, I will come back and mark this as a 4 hour demand zone, right? Because I'm seeing we have a rally, we have a little consolidation, and if this continues to push up over the next couple of minutes, I would mark it. But right now, technically, it's not anything. This zone right here was a little baby zone that did move price earlier in the day. So we have this supply candle engulfing the green body, and it did do like a little rejection once price got up here. I forgot what time it was. We'll probably see on a lower time frame. It rejected down a little bit. It gave, at least a 10-point move, but nothing that we should be interested in trading today. Okay. Where am I? Let's go to the 3 hour. All right, so 3 hour, we had a small 3 hour demand. It looks like it already bounced price a little bit. Price came down here and has bounced up from there about from 79 up to 5,400. It could potentially keep going, but again, this is not something we're interested in. I hate when I come and I see like little moves that happen in the pre-market. We always have a couple though. This here, however, would be our first zone that we found. This is a 3 hour supply zone. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Take my price level, mark it at the open body of this first candle. And this opened at 54.47.25. Dang, I'm way off. I'm just going to name it 3 hour supply. That means sell. If you are new and you're still getting the vocabulary right, and then I'm going to create a stop loss zone that goes to the top of the highest wick out of these two candles. So it looks like this little area here, like as you can see, if we were, you remember we were just looking at the 4 hour and it looks like at about the same place, we could have this little tiny demand zone. This is creating like a little chop channel where it could bounce up to here, bounce down back to this level before it decides to make, whatever larger move for the day it's going to make. I like little channels like this because they're typically about like 20 to 40 points apart. Let me see. 54.47 down to 53.95. Yeah, that's like 50 points apart. And you can typically get just like some nice quick moves in between, like some little, like yo-yo zigzag bounces in between and just collect points and be done for the day early. But of course, like I always say, don't try to predict what the market's going to do, just react to it. So I am going to be looking at this. If this keeps pushing up, I'm going to be looking at this 4 hour to see if maybe we can get some of that back and forth. Because it seems small, right? Like if I were to put a line right here, this would seem like a super small channel, but it's actually pretty big. Like 50 points is a lot. 50 points on um, just one ES contract going like, ES is standard thing. 50 points is like $2,500. Okay, look around. Okay, go down to the 2 hour. Yep, same deal. You see how we've got all of these, the 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, all kind of having the same type of look down here. Had a 2 hour right here that got triggered already. And the 2 hour is inside of this 3 hour. I'll mark it just to again, when I do this, I just let myself know to wait for it to come inside of the zone a little bit. 54, 55, 50. That's funny. This is exactly where our demand was yesterday. Hold on. Okay, so 2 hour supply. All right. So this just tells me that if price comes back up here, I don't have to take the trade right at the zone. I can wait for it to come inside a little bit because we've got smaller levels on the inside. Now, this is funny because this level right here was where the price was above it yesterday, right? And we had a 30, if I remember correctly, we had a 30-minute demand level right here that bounced. Or was it a supply? I don't know, but this level was used yesterday for something that I took off, that I removed at the beginning. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the day. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay. All right, so I'm now going to move this gap down to under this candle where it came down, because now if you now you have like a better visual of what I mean when I say a gap. We had an area in the chart where there were absolutely no candles, um just nothing, right? And so this is what we call a gap, and when price gets to the gap, typically it will do one of two things. It will get to the gap and like reject really hard. Like if you look here, this is where the gap started. Price went up, came down to the gap, and it just started running up, for a couple of hours. The other thing that the gap could do is what it did Monday was it could get to the gap and just push through like a really big candle, just completely fill the gap. So people play gaps a lot. I just like to keep them on my chart to know where they are. I don't play them a lot. I consider them like more risky plays, but some people like really swear by them. So yeah. Okay. So this is what I'll be looking at today. The first trade that I'll be looking at, well, I guess I can't say first, right? I don't know where the market is gonna go. But if it comes up near this supply zone, I'll be looking to take a rejection off of this zone. I am gonna check after like 9:15 to see if we did have that 4 hour demand zone forming. And if so, I'm gonna try to play the rejection back down to the demand zone. And at that point, if I made my points and I'm just gonna go. I like to just like make my money kind of fast and just go. But there could be an opportunity there for another bounce. Like we just have to play whatever the levels give us. Excuse me. If price breaks through this zone, then it can come back up to test this supply zone. This supply zone has been tested twice, and I typically don't play supply zones that have been tested already. But one thing about this zone is that it came like right above a whole lot of other resistance areas, right? It was like right below it. You see how we're just kind of right below the zone? We had a lot of wicks right up here at this area, even heading back into the chart. So what I'm looking at more for this zone is if we get up here, I'm expecting us to actually break through the zone, and I would be looking to play a retest off of this zone. So for instance, if we break through and it totally invalidates the zone, because we'd already gotten past all the resistance that was here, I would expect it to go like that. I would look to play the retest to go long up to the next zone. Would 53.74 on the 1 hour be considered a demand? Oops. 1 minute. Whoops. Where's my 1 hour? 53. This one. So I wouldn't count this one because this candle. So because I look at candle bodies primarily, like typically I would say yes, because the green candle body is engulfing this red one. But because I don't want to, I would say it's a little more risky zone because this red candle is actually larger than the green candle. So this green candle wouldn't totally be considered an engulfing candle because this one is larger. We have that high wick up there. So I would just be careful with that.
Hey Candace, how about the zone, like on the 1 hour zone? Um, 5231. Would that be considered a demand? It's another candle that kind of looks like it.
Yes, down here.
Yes, would that be considered a demand?
Yep, it is. And I do have it marked. Let me see where it is exactly. Five, yep, it opens at 5232.25. So this is a demand. And remember, guys, when you're looking at if whether or not you want to confirm if it's a level or not, don't forget to check your market structure. Like if you're ever confused or want to know, like you see you have areas of rallies, bases, consolidation. Here's a rally, here's a base, consolidation, rally, base. So this one came out of a rally base and a rally. So this one is, I would consider this solid because we have the right market structure with it also. That's why this one is kind of like, and we're already on a lower time frame. We're already on 1 hour. We're looking down. And this one is kind of like going down, but and then gives us this little V up. It's not really giving us a whole sideways consolidation before pushing up. Yeah. And again, I don't use that market structure like every day, all the time. It's something that just try to remember it to look at it every now and then. And then whenever you're feeling, unsure about a level, you can always just double check that. So let me go down to the like 5 minute or something. Yeah, so like the 1 hour level would have been like, oops, right around here. And even on the 5 minute, it's not giving us that rally base, drop base. It's not really giving us a base around here. You see, it's just giving us like a V. So that's why I would, you know what I mean? So you can always confirm using market structure. Yes. Why am I having unusual joint activity? Oh. Mm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm gonna screenshot this and put the plan under the daily level section, and I'll be back at around 9:30 when the market opens to see what's gonna play out. And as usual, you guys, mark your like make sure to be charting like as the market opens and as it goes through. Yesterday, we got some really good hits off of 30-minute demand levels that formed like shortly after the market opened. The other levels hit too. It just took like a couple of hours. There are some people in here who also trade using 5 minute demands. I don't chart on the 5 minute, but they get really quick trades because it's a new candle every 5 minutes, new opportunity for zones to be created like every 5 minutes. But yeah. Um, what's today? Thursday. I think I'm gonna hop on from like 12 to 12:30 in the office hours. If anybody wants to like ask questions or review anything, I'll put the link in the Discord like before we start, just to remind everyone. All right, see y'all later.